Welcome back to Staples Center. Joe Morgan, Sabrina Merchant, another awesome Clippers game. They find a way to beat the Houston Rockets 122-119, improving to 11-5. Sabrina, back-to-back, really intense, close games. There's something about the composure here that the Clippers might have. Is there something going on here with the Clips? I know it's only a couple games into the year.
But it's the kind of thing that you saw last year from the Clippers too, right? Like Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Beverley, they were all on the team last year. They pulled out these gutsy wins at the end of games, usually at home, but still very impressive close wins that were a hallmark of the Clippers season last year. And you saw that again, right? Down the stretch in the second half, Lou Williams was the engine for this Clippers team. It seems silly to say when you have Kawhi Leonard and you have Paul George, but they kept putting the ball in Lou Williams' hands and good things happened.
Well, he had what, 26
points.
26, 0 in the first half. It's an embarrassment of riches. It really is. To have the ability to have Kawhi Leonard, who's really considered the best player in the game at the moment, Paul George, a top 10 player, and then to have a guy like Lou to be able to come off the bench and basically be your spark, that's a good Houston team. Okay, look, there are some issues about Houston that we could go on all day. Westbrook, absolutely. I thought he was brutal tonight, but we can talk about that later.
But James Harden, second best player in the game probably
right
now. Yeah.
Houston's a good team, and to be able to then have a guy like Lou to come off the bench and really close the game. Personally, I think in these last two games, I'm starting to think that the Clippers are the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, I just don't see how you can defend some of the actions they run, right? Like down the stretch to start the fourth quarter, they ran that Lou Williams, Kawhi Leonard pick and roll just 4 times in a row. And Austin Rivers is guarding Lou Williams, PJ Tucker's guarding Kawhi, and they're just not switching.
Right.
And you give Lou a little inch, he just rolls right past you. I mean,
every time.
Every time. And then the one time they actually tried to keep Kawhi from setting the screen, they just ran a regular old Lou Tress pick and roll.
Right. The
Seems
classic.
to work out just fine.
The old classic, which we love. And I also thought, look, this is something that I think we're going to talk about, and we talked about this last game. That play was drawn up for Kawhi at the end. I'm curious because we've loved and seen what Paul George has done so far, and I'm actually curious to see as we move along during the season, does Paul end up getting some of those opportunities, or do we really think that this is Kawhi's team and he's getting the ball at the end of every game?
Well, I mean, Kawhi got the ball on the very last possession, but the one before that three to, or not, Lou Williams hit the 3 to give them the lead, but the one before that, the one out of the timeout, that was a Paul George design play, right? So, I mean, I think Doc is spreading the wealth, right? Like in that final stretch, Kawhi, Lou, and PG were all pretty much sharing the load. I mean, I'm sure most people expected there to be a duopoly, with Kawhi and PG, but Lou's there, and there's just it's so hard to guard when all 3 of these guys are capable of scoring. They're all capable of passing. They're all capable of creating for others. I mean,
well, and I thought something that was kind of highlighted in this game was the ball movement for the Clippers. It just almost compared to when you're watching a Houston team, who I thought, look, at times they did move the ball a bit, but it's so much more stagnant with Harden and with Westbrook. And you can, when you're watching a team like that against a Clippers team, that the ball really is moving. I thought it was really highlighted. Here's a quick question for you, because this is for the Clippers fans. Doc talked about this in his postgame, where he said this is really the first time, in his opinion, that they have a home court advantage. In the past, there's been a lot of opposing teams here. Have you noticed a difference to start this year compared to past years?
So during the Boston game, I think both of us sort of thought that it was a pro-Boston crowd. There was a lot of green in this arena. It got very loud during certain Boston sequences to the point where, if my head was down, I couldn't tell if good things were happening for the Clippers or the Celtics. Today, I thought was definitely further in the LA direction. It's a very loud crowd. I mean, another great game. How could you not get the fans in Staples Center excited to see basketball like this, right? But I would hesitate a second before saying that they've created an actual home court.
Okay, I'm going to agree with you there. Okay, so Staples Center is not always the loudest, okay? I have no problem saying that, but, see, I have noticed a difference. I thought that Boston, you can't count Boston. Okay? There's Boston fans all over, there's transplants, and that's the best organization in all of the NBA, historically speaking. I don't think you can count that game. I have noticed something in the last couple of games compared to the last few years where I do think this crowd has stepped their game up a little bit. And obviously it's going to play into it with the fact that these last 2 games have gone down to the wire. But I have to say, to the Clippers fans, pretty impressed. Pretty impressed with what you guys have done. There's no doubt about it.
I would agree that the crowds have been louder. I don't necessarily think it's all Clippers fans. But it's been a better atmosphere here.
Yes, it has been a better energy.
Definitely.
Obviously this is a Lakers town and the Lakers building. And the Clippers need to find a way, and I think they are, of making Staples Center their own before obviously they move to Inglewood here in future years. Last game of the homestand coming up here on Sunday versus New Orleans. It's been a long homestand, but a very successful one for the Clippers. They find a way to beat Houston 122-119. They go to 11-5. Another big win for the Clips. Once again, I'm Joe Morgan from Staples Center.
I'm Sabrina Merchant. Thanks for listening.
See you guys.